Hi, this is Terri. Welcome back to my channel. We have a very special guest today who's might be even more reluctant than Ray to be on camera, but this is my husband Zeke. And today's topic is really around the Coronacoaster, COVID, kids, and just a general conversation around that. So, I don't even know where to start this. You're not going to be very helpful with this, are you?
It's your show. Lead the way.
So,
also, you have zero notes on the matter,
So, since I often talk about Zeke and no one's actually ever met him on video, I thought it'd be a good opportunity. We are recording this on Sunday, October 4th, because I'm heading out of town. So we're doing...
It's the 3rd.
Is
no,
it?
today's the 4th.
Today's the 4th.
Today's the 4th? Oh, okay.
Yeah, every day.
Oh, I was just reprogramming the sprinkler, and I reprogrammed it for 2021, so you're right. Today's the 3rd.
Thank you for trying to, correct me on something that I knew I was right on, but, Anyway.
I thought it was the 3rd, too.
Oh, my gosh.
You were right. It's the 4th. Thank you.
Okay. So, trying to record 3 videos today. So this is the first of 3 videos we're recording. This will end up be released on Tuesday, October 13th. So we don't typically do this, but we've got to record one. Adam surprised us by coming home just for not even 24 hours. So I'll be recording a video with him, but you should have already seen that. And then I'll be doing a solo one, which you should have already seen as well. But I thought this would be...
I feel like a time traveler then.
You are, but I needed content, and so you're my content.
Filler.
So let's talk about the last, since March. Last year was just kind of crazy, and then March 14th came around, and we went down to San Diego to pick Adam up, and we jumped on the Coronacoaster, and it's not been a wee, it's been a ooh. So,
thank you for the demonstration, Mother.
I like to be at the front, hands up, or in the back, hands up, just enjoying the ride and being a little bit out of control. But this has been completely out of control. So, do you have any just kind of basic thoughts about the last 206 days of COVID? Do you even know where to start?
There's a lot going on. And you try and take it for what it is without overcooking it.
Okay. You
like
are
a piece of pork.
Yeah.
Definitely like a piece of pork. So you got to go on a 2-week bicycle ride that was about 857 miles. About. Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not the stats guy.
Oh, Eric was the one who captured all of that. And how was it during COVID being on a trip like that? Did it feel like you were in your own bubble? Were you reminded regularly? How was that experience?
Actually, the experience was many and varied when you travel from metropolitan Seattle to rural. Although, when you take the ferry across to Bainbridge and some of those areas, it reminds you of the Sausalitos and Marins in relation to San Francisco. And then you go way out into the Olympic Peninsula and down the Washington coast, and you see a lot of different people. And surprisingly, for what I would think of in our Bay Area bubble, most folks out there were wearing masks and being respectful and that type of thing. And it was, I think, the worst offender that we came across was actually in Northern California, just outside of, just over the Oregon border.
Wait, what was the experience?
Well, it was just a restaurant where we were sitting outside, so we were fine, but they were very clearly anti-maskers, if you want to call them that. And,
was this an area that you saw a bunch of Trump signs in, too?
Oh, yeah. It was in the middle of a Native American reservation and very rural North State California, I believe. Maybe it was Southern Oregon. Either way, very rural area, and they started to equate the number of lives lost because of vehicles car accidents every year, and people still decide to drive cars even though the risk is still there. So if you decide to wear the mask, they tried to make this false equivalency. And unfortunately, it wasn't until half an hour, 45 minutes later on the bike when I was thinking through, well, yes, a lot of people die in car accidents, but if you take that number and relate it to 30 years ago, it's probably a fraction of those numbers because of airbags, mandatory seatbelt laws, anti-lock brakes, crumple zones, all the technology that the government
and the drunk driving campaign type
and the drunk
stuff.
all the government regulations that have been put in place because the safety measures are obvious in the technology, and so then wouldn't wearing a mask be a simple technology that would facilitate that? Anyway, so
And also, dying in a car accident isn't really contagious.
this is true. So anyway, it was many and varied, but again, by and large, most folks were going with the program, as whether it was reluctantly or not. They were going with the program, trying to make the best of it, and.
Okay, so life leading up to that trip, because you were really looking forward to that trip, and there was a lot of activity, especially when you were checking weather and you were checking the smoke and everything else, and trying to figure out what the plan was. Too, you come home, and you know, I would think it's actually been really tough for you to be home, because what do you have to look forward to? There's nothing that you're planning for right now. I mean, what's your will to live right now?
Hold my hand, Ray.
I'm just kidding. It's just it's hard because I'm actually
you plan the next adventure.
So what's
whatever that is, whether that's with Ray or you or all of us or the subset or the group of guys that I went on the bike trip with. Again, it's the same reason why you sign up for half marathons, is because then that pushes you to then train up to that event, and you've made a commitment to do that event.
It's just a little bit different. So what are you thinking about looking forward to and planning? I mean, because like I'm going to Palm Springs. This will be recorded while will be released while I'm in Palm Springs. Yeah. But then I feel like the next thing we would typically look forward to is Halloween with the Scare Fest, but we're not doing that this year because of COVID. I guess you're going to build the big pipe, so that's something that you can work on. And then it's Thanksgiving, because we're hoping that Adam will come home for, well, we're kind of hoping and dreading, I don't know what that whole situation is.
Is he going to be home for the entire week?
I have no idea. We haven't really talked to him about that.
Yeah, this less than 24-hour trip actually worked out pretty well.
This was actually pretty good. He won't watch this, so yeah, dinner with him, and then he took a bath, and then he went into his room, and then he went and picked up a friend. They socialized out front, took the friend home at 12:30, was in bed, and is still asleep. So anyway, so we kind of have that to look forward to, but that's kind of a weird thing. So what are you trying to put together to look forward to?
Who knows? You
and
know.
I were thinking about some sort of trip.
Backpacking trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a backpacking trip. Although it's getting a little late, could be a little chilly, but that could make a new element of fun.
Yeah, you just pack for that, right?
Right. So it's just a matter of you know, and that's the hard thing with COVID, is it always sort of is throwing you off base. I read an interesting article in the Chronicle this morning. We actually still receive a paper.
Zeke reads it every single morning. It's the first thing that he does.
Pretty much.
After he gets his first cup of coffee.
Well, maybe one of the top 3 things I do. Anyway, and it was how 2020 is a knuckleball. And so a baseball analogy, because it's unpredictable and sort of bobs and weaves and floats, and it's hard to control as a pitcher. It's hard to catch as a catcher. And the great, I think it was Bob Euchre, said the best way to catch a knuckleball is to wait until it stops rolling, pick it up. So with all of that theme in vein there, you just sort of find your opportunities, make your opportunities happen, and try not to question them too much. And when you do make airfare and a commitment, then you just have to adjust and try and make it happen, as we did on this trip.
Well, because it's we also have the smoke and the fires to contend with, which is making it difficult to plan even just a hike or tennis or even something outside. Right. So we've got that whole element. Yes, we are past the 6.5 minutes. I told you so.
All right, I'm done. Nice talking to you.
So, that's it.
That's it.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. Well, thank you, Zeke, for joining me. I imagine this is going to be one of the very few times that you join on this.
I am not your target audience, and I'm not
No, but
sure.
my target audience, it's, okay, the people I have on it are not necessarily the target. The people who are watching it may be interested in hearing, seeing what... Okay, really quick, check in with Finn. How you doing?
Fine. I'm just sitting here.
No,
Yeah.
we don't
Dad.
do that.
Dad, turn it off.
No, well,
I was going to turn it over and film you.
Oh, no.
no, that doesn't happen.
No.
They're just the voice.
They're the
They
the
edit.
Charlie of
voice.
Charlie's Angels.
Yes,
The
exactly.
Robin
That
of
is.
Robin Masters. The Remington Steele of.
No, Remington Steele was Remington Steele.
I thought
That
the
was
whole.
Pierce Brosnan was
Right.
Remington Steele.
Anyway.
But he might have
Enough
been a
80s references.
Okay. Okay, and with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Zeke, could you... Oh my god.
There's
yes.
a knuckleball for you.
Anyway, wow. I guess that's it for today. So, as always, let go of perfection. Take some risks. I'm not sure if this risk is going to pay off or not. And above all else, have some fun.